Before you play the next episode on Disney Plus, get ready to explore the hidden side of Bluey, where things get a little darker, a lot deeper, and way more real than you ever imagined. What if I told you that Bluey almost had an episode where Bandit loses it at a school talent show? Or that a scrapped scene would have shown Chilli in tears, questioning if she's a good mom? These aren't fan theories, these are actual storyboards, abandoned plots, and insider whispers that reveal a completely different side of the Healer family, one we were never meant to see. These 8 deleted or unproduced Bluey scenes didn't just miss the cut, they could have changed how we see the entire show. Let's get into it. The talent show meltdown, Bandit's breaking point. There's a version of Bluey that shows Bandit, everyone's favorite goofy dad, absolutely losing it in public. Yep, gone was the chill, easygoing parent we're used to. In this scene, part of an early draft of an episode titled Spotlight, Bandit tries to help Bingo prepare for a school talent show. But as the pressure builds, so does Bandit's frustration. According to leaked storyboards, Bandit ends up yelling at another parent who criticized Bingo's act. It was raw, real, the kind of moment parents have, but Bluey usually sugarcoats. So why did it get cut? Producers reportedly thought it sent the wrong message for a preschool audience. But here's the thing, it would have shown that even great dads have bad days. That parenting isn't always playful, and sometimes even Bandit struggles to keep it together. As a parent watching this show, seeing Bandit snap would have been relatable, maybe even healing. Chilli's breakdown, am I failing them? There's an early concept sketch that never made it past development, but it's one of the most powerful scenes never shown. Chilli, sitting alone in the backyard late at night. The kids are asleep, she's watching the stars, and crying. Why? Because in that scene, she tells Bandit she feels like she's not doing enough, like she's always tired, like she's missing the kids grow up while trying to keep everything together. Sound familiar? This wasn't meant to be the focus of a whole episode, just a short emotional beat in an episode about work-life balance. But it was ultimately deemed too heavy, too real maybe, but for so many moms out there, this would have hit home. The guilt, the mental load, the silent moments where we wonder if we're enough. That scene deserved its moment. Uncle Stripe's secret struggle with anxiety. Uncle Stripe is the cool, laid-back brother, right? But in a cut storyline from the episode Unplugged, the writers explored an angle where Stripe admits to Bandit that he's been battling anxiety since becoming a parent. In one version, the kids want to play, but Stripe freezes up, overwhelmed by noise, clutter, and responsibility. He later confides in Bandit in a raw garage conversation, saying he feels like he's always pretending to cope. It was supposed to be a subplot to show that dads don't always have it figured out either. This scene was scrapped early in the animation phase. Some say it would have introduced too many serious adult issues in a kids show, but honestly, it could have opened the door for parents to talk about mental health with compassion. And imagine older siblings or kids hearing that sometimes grown-ups feel overwhelmed too. What a powerful thing that could be. Bluey runs away. This one, it's intense. A leaked animatic from early in the show's development reveals a story where Bluey runs away after a huge fight with Bingo. She leaves the backyard, wanders down the street, and hides in a neighbor's treehouse. The goal was to explore sibling conflict and independence, but also fear, regret, and how far kids can go when emotions overwhelm them. It's said that the tone became too scary, especially when Bluey gets caught in the rain and starts to cry, realizing how much she misses home. Eventually, Bandit finds her and doesn't scold her. Instead, he just hugs her and says, "You're allowed to feel big feelings, but come home when you're ready." That line alone would have broken us. The plot was supposed to focus on teaching boundaries, Bluey says no to Muffin taking her toy, and Muffin absolutely loses it. Not the usual scream cry tantrum, this version included her knocking over furniture and hitting Bingo. For a kids show, that was a bold move. Behind the scenes, animators said the goal was to create a teachable moment around consent, space, and self-control. But test audiences found Muffin's actions too upsetting, even when followed by a moment of reflection and apology. And here's the human part. This episode would have been so real. Because some toddlers do hit, some kids do struggle with anger, and as parents, we don't always know how to handle that without shame. Bluey could have led the way in normalizing those difficult conversations. Instead, the scene was quietly shelved, and we missed an opportunity to talk about emotional regulation without judgment. Bandit's old dog, a goodbye story. Well, there's a lost episode called Maxie that never made it past the storyboarding phase. And this one, it would have wrecked us. In this story, Bluey finds an old photo album and discovers Bandit once had a dog named Maxie. The episode follows Bandit gently explaining how Maxie was his best friend growing up and how one day Maxie got very sick. The scene included a flashback where Kid Bandit says goodbye and Adult Bandit tears up while telling Bluey that loving someone means remembering them, even when they're gone. The creators loved the message, but the network was hesitant. Death is a heavy subject, especially for preschoolers. There were concerns about how young audiences would process it, but man, imagine how many families could have used that episode as a soft, gentle way to explain loss. We talk about life in Bluey all the time. Why not Lost 2, Bingo's imaginary friend, or something darker? Here's where things get a little spooky. There was a mysterious concept episode, never titled publicly, where Bingo begins talking to an imaginary friend. At first, it's cute, but over time, the friend becomes demanding, bossy, even mean. Bingo starts acting differently, shy, nervous, and withdrawn. In the end, the parents help her recognize that it's okay to let go of a voice that isn't kind. The script aimed to help kids understand internalized negative thoughts and build emotional resilience. But the tone, way darker than typical Bluey. One scene reportedly had Bingo crying under her bed, whispering, "I can't tell them. He'll get mad." The moment the team realized it was crossing into psychological territory, too deep for its core audience, they cut it hard. Still, this idea, it touched on something we rarely see in children's shows: emotional self-awareness and the internal struggle between fear and courage. Had they done it right, this could have been one of the most groundbreaking Bluey episodes ever. 8. Chilli and Bandit almost got divorced. Yeah, you read that right. Early in development, the writers reportedly explored a backstory arc in which Chilli and Bandit hit a rough patch in their marriage, years before Bluey and Bingo were born. It wasn't going to be a full-blown episode, but a quiet reference, possibly in flashback, where they're seen in separate rooms or going through counseling. The idea was to show that love isn't perfect, that even the happiest families work hard to stay connected. According to insiders, the creators wanted to normalize healthy conflict. In one proposed scene, Bandit apologizes for not being present during a hard time, and Chilli says, "We chose to keep trying." That line is everything. But the network reportedly said, "Too real, too adult." So it was gone. Just like that. Imagine if we had gotten that moment. Two parents admitting things got tough, but they chose each other anyway. The Healer family would have felt even more human. Conclusion, bring it home. So, what do all these scenes have in common? They were real, raw, imperfect, emotional, brave, and that's exactly why they were cut. Bluey walks a fine line. It's a kid's show, sure, but it's also the only show where parents sit down and end up crying more than the kids do. That's because it touches something deep in us. The messy, unspoken parts of parenting, childhood, and growing up. And maybe these scenes were too much, too emotional, too close to home, but maybe They were exactly what we needed, because parenting isn't just giggles and tickles and games of keepy uppy. It's late night tears, it's arguments we regret, it's moments we feel like failures, and it's love. Quiet, relentless, imperfect love that keeps us all going. These 8 lost scenes, they might not have made it to air, but they remind us of what makes Bluey special. It doesn't shy away from real life. It just hides it in the in-between moments. Those pauses between laughter, those quiet sighs at the end of the day, those looks between Chilli and Bandit that say, "We're doing our best." And sometimes that's more than enough. If this video hit you in the feels or made you see Bluey in a whole new light, drop a comment below and let me know which deleted scene you wish they had kept. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the shows we love and the moments we almost got to see. Until next time, give your kids a hug, take a breath, and remember, you're doing better than you think.